Good morning and hello, heroes. Welcome back to the guild. Oof, I'm gonna have to get me probably some better lighting, but hey, you can see my face now. I finally got me a green screen back up, so that you guys could see me. Um, but Duratar sadly has like a red hue to it, so that's going to make things look a little pink. Sorry about that. But hey, quick shout out to Gibson. Thanks for being a member, my guy. Number one, very first member that we've gotten so far. Absolutely love it. So for today, I figure we will try the Sun Cleric. A lot of people have been asking me about healers. And we haven't really done a class yet that has a healing spec, aside from the Pyromancer, which I'm working on a build video right now for it. So there is that. We are working on getting some healer stuff put up as well as some tank stuff put up. It's just taking me a little bit longer with all the computer issues that we've been having over the last couple days. But yeah, so I'm going to work on some Sun Cleric for streaming right now till we get this guy to 60. We're going to be focused on the healer. And then as far as builds go, we're still getting the Last of the Storm bringer out. We've got the Ranger coming out. We've got our Pyromancer coming out. So we've got a lot going down through the pipeline. So let's get started here. I thought I had everything up and ready to rock and roll, but I was mistaken. Put that one in the loot bot. There we go. Not going to be worrying about professions too much for this. Kind of just wanting to level as quickly as we can in the amount of time that we have every morning. Get this guy to 60 as quickly as possible. There we go. And yeah, just move on from there, really. Just want to kind of get that going. But yeah. We have leveled the Sun Cleric before. So not a whole lot of newness to it. But they have changed some stuff. Look at that, already level 2. Let's move this guy right there so that we can easily see it. Pop our book, learn our new skills. There we go. So we get Dawn. Dawn is an amazing skill for us. Gavel of Atonement. That is a melee skill for us. Not that I'm hoping to ever need to use it. But as you can see, as we used our basic stuff, we gain the ability to go into Dawn. And then Dawn actually activates some secondary effects for us. It's kind of like the Pyromancer with its overheat mechanic. If I activate Dawn, we regenerate mana based on our intellect, which is great. Consume all solar power to empower your next 5 abilities, allowing them to trigger their Dawn effects. So, like, for example, Sun Flare normally just does a blast of energy. Excuse me. Blast an enemy with the light of the sun, dealing 25 solar power and generates 5 rage and 1 solar power. It increases its damage by 20% if we are in our Dawn phase. So, good stuff there. As we continue to go and as we continue to level, we will end up getting new abilities that will have even crazier effects. There's level 3 for us. Pop the book. Nothing until level 4. Okay. We're going to run over here. You guys know the drill. The reason why I pick Horde, by the way, I know a lot of people have wondered and asked why I'm constantly picking the Horde for most of the classes. The Horde actually level the fastest. Because all of their quests go basically in a straight line. As you've seen with the Alliance, even when you pick the humans, which technically you would, on that side, level the fastest, they still have a lot of running around to do once you get to Goldshire. The constant back and forth actually slows down your progression. Plus, for whatever reason, the Horde seems to get better drop rates on the quests that require a drop. So, there's just more benefit, honestly, to being Horde. I am thinking about doing a video, though, that gives a breakdown of each race. Not that their passives really benefit any of the classes. Good lord, this yawning is going to piss me off this morning. So already almost level 4, which is phenomenal. Let's take out some of these scorpids just so that we can get... There we go, level 4. That way we can get the new skills here. So we ended up getting Illumination. This is our very first heal. I'm going to put that down here for now. But Illumination, heal an ally for 77, generating 2 solar power on an effective heal. During dawn, it increases the healing by 20%. So it's the heal version of Sunflare, right? We also got Horos Blast. This is another ranged ability. Inflicts 77 holy damage to an enemy and generates 2 holy power. If you do it during dawn, it will always crit strike. Downside to waking up and then like immediately getting things ready so that I can stream is like my body hasn't really woken up, and it frustrates me because like I could sit here all morning, do absolutely nothing, won't yawn, and then if I go to work or I start trying to stream or work on videos, I yawn like crazy because my brain's like, oh, we're actually having to do some stuff. Let's get some mass oxygen going. All right, so we're gonna pick up all these quests. Lost pendant, that's in the cave. I changed what the caches look like. That's dope. And now we get, oh, yeah. We weren't really doing quests at the end of the Pyromancer stuff, so we didn't get to see the new icons for the chests. That's pretty dope. I like that. We're going to run this way because our medallion is literally right here outside the cave, plus everything else that's out here, so... We're going to easily hit 5 as soon as we get to the scorpids so that we can get the tails. Yeah. Me bonking you with... Hello? That guy's still glitched. That sucks. Alright, we'll wait for this dude to fall asleep so we can whomp him a good one. Already almost done with the apples. Perfect timing. Come on. There we go. 1 of 5. Alright, I can see him chopping wood out there, so we're going to go ahead and take out some more scorpids while we wait. Grab up this apple. Now, depending on what type of build you're going to do with the Sun Cleric, guys, it will determine your professions. So if you're going to play this as a main, you're really going to need to think about, am I going tank, healer, DPS, caster DPS, whatever. Because if you're going to do any of those, you'll need to know what professions will best benefit you. For example, if you're doing the healer or the caster DPS, I believe they are cloth wearers. In which case, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have tailoring and enchanting as your professions. If you're going to go the tank or the melee DPS, I believe both of them wear plate mail. I could be wrong on all that, so don't quote me on it. It's been a while since I've played the Sun Cleric. We'll find out when we hit 10. We need one more Scorpid. We'll wait for him to go to sleep. He is playing a witch doctor. He just didn't have the patience to wait for the guy to go to sleep. There's the medallion that we needed for our quest right there. Well, I thought it was. Let's go in the cave, maybe? But I could have sworn it was right there. I wonder if the quest is bugged. That would be kind of a bummer. Okay, completed that. Got the blood from him. I'm confused. It does say that it's outside the cave. Well, I would choose, here it goes. I was attempting to show those pigmen the light. It did not work. In my haste, I didn't. Please find it for me. Yeah, it's supposed to be this right here. Ah. Looks like the quest is bugged, which is kind of a bummer, but we don't really need the quest. It doesn't lead to another quest. It doesn't do much, but we'll definitely put in a a ticket about it. And if we could make it in time to get to this one. There we go. Then we need just one more Scorpid, which we can get right over here. And then we can go turn all of them in. I will drop the pendant quest and then re-pick up the pendant quest just to see if that will fix it. It may be bugged because they just overlaid the quest. I'm not 100% sure, but we will definitely send in a ticket off stream to the devs and let them know, hey, this quest is busted. You can't do it as a troll anyway. Let's take out another target so we can hit level 6. There we go. Once we turn in all these quests, we'll figure out what new skills we can get for level 6.
What do you need?
Strength and honor. May your blades never dull.
Okay, come get it, mount.
Loktar. Be safe.
We'll just do the Bloodforge charger. It's fine.
Go with honor. What do you need? May your blades never dull.
Greetings. Strength. Fight well, friend.
The neat thing is not only will I be able to put in a bug report to be like, hey, by the way, this quest is broke, but I also post all the stuff that I do with the creators page for this game on their Discord. So they'll actually have video evidence of me going, hey, I tried to do the thing for the quest and it won't let me do the thing for the quest. So they can actually see it and hopefully quickly figure out what's wrong with it and get it fixed. Oy. Da, da, da. But level 7, just real quick, let's go ahead and take the time to pick up whatever new skills we have. So we ended up getting Shine. Shine is another heal for us. So that can go down here. And then we ended up getting Chains of Light. Shackle an enemy with Chains of Light, dealing 41 holy damage and slowing their movement by 40% for 8 seconds. Requires 15 rage to pop that. And it doesn't look like I have Voodoo. Deadly boss mods. That's details, UI error, PF quest, trade skills. Okay. Yep, still can't pick up the necklace. So let's see here. Let's go. Let's just report this real quick. Quest not working. Select a category. Quests. Quest is called the Lost Pendant. Select priority. Well, I'm gonna say it's low. Cannot select the pendant for the Sun Cleric level 3 quest. I am on a roll. Is this game breaking? No, not really. Exact location. Open world. What were you doing? Trying to do the Sun Cleric level 3 quest on a troll. Expected outcome to pick up the pendant for the quest. Actual outcome cannot click the pendant. Step 1. Accept quest. Step 2. Try and pick up pendant. Okay. Well, there's evidence that I tried to submit a bug and it won't let me do it. So, even though my email's been verified for a pretty good long while. We'll have to go double check. I know the Tinker quest was also bugged for a while. I don't know if it still is. We have to build one and double check. So, we'll just finish the rest of these quests. We'll undo the pendant again. There we go. Yeeted and deleted. There we go. There's all that. Gets us to level 7. We might take out a few more targets just so we can get to 8 before we go turn all these in. Let's re-abandon that because we can't do it. And it's really, honestly, not that big of a deal that we can't do the pendant quest. Because we have bind on account gear, so we don't need the pendant that we would get from it. But for someone who's not using the heirlooms, like that could be slightly frustrating to where you're hoping to get a nice upgradable item for you that can help you do some more damage, help you do some more healing, whatever, and the quest isn't working. For a new player, that can really bring you out of the game entirely. I mean, research shows that people leave games for two reasons. One, because they lack a understanding of where they need to go because the game doesn't tell them where to go. Or they leave because they feel like they're never getting enough upgrades fast enough to compensate for the difficulty increases as they play the game. Prime example of that is if you go back and look at, say, Final Fantasy. When it first dropped, Final Fantasy, what is it, 14, the one that's online? You'd think I'd know that one off the top of my head because we used to play that on this channel. But that particular game, when it first dropped, was super hard, super confusing. Nobody liked it. The classes were confusing. It was a mess. And so people would buy the game, play the game, go, ooh, gross, and then leave the game. It wasn't until they went back in and made progression a little smoother, made it more noticeable on where you needed to go. So if you pick up a quest, you're no longer going, where do I go to turn this in? Where do I go to complete it? Where do I go to do this? Now your biggest headache is I need to get to a certain level and a certain quest in order to get a mount. All right, there's level 8 for us. So, like, one of the things I really appreciate that they did when it comes to Ascension WoW versus regular WoW is adding in these loot crates here by just doing quests. Cache of junk requires lock picking. We don't have lock picking. So yeah, I mean, there's the caches that if you again don't have heirloom gear and you're trying to quickly gear up a character to get into dungeons faster, to get into most of the content that you're going to want to do, like mana storms, and you don't want to get kicked immediately for not being able to do things, by giving us these caches for completing quests, it gives us access to getting gear a little bit faster. Less running, more resing. Resurrect in the closest town or capital. So it wants us to die so that we can res. We may do that just because, so we can complete that quest. I'm not sure how you would do that when most of the graveyards are not in cities. I mean, you can tell it to res you when you do die. You have the option to say res in town, which I think is a weird mechanic, but it is what it is. So, da-da-da, da-da-da. Picking up quests. Who you be? Say no to the voodoo.
What you want? Be seen. See you later. Later. Okie dokie. Greetings, man. How you doing, man?
Alright, so we picked up all those quests. So I just want to show you what I mean by early on getting those loot crates, right? We're at 6 green ones. We're at 4 white ones. The white ones have the option of giving you gear, but more than likely you're going to get crafting materials, potions, things of that nature. The green ones have a higher chance of giving you gear, typically of white or green value, plus whatever else it can give you. And we actually got another level to 9. I didn't notice. And then every once in a while, we'll pick up a blue chest. Those are guaranteed green to blue rarity items. So that's really cool. Rejuvenating Rays. Call down Rejuvenating Rays in a 10-yard area for 25 seconds, restoring 1% maximum health and mana per second. This effect is stronger based on how long you stay in the area. Cannot be used in combat. Does not work on allies in combat. So this is a outside of combat kind of thing. Glorious Execution requires a melee weapon. Strike with both weapons, dealing 130% weapon damage plus 16 physical damage. Restores 10% of your missing mana. During dawn, has a 20% chance to critically strike. So that requires 2 melee weapons. We don't use 2 melee weapons, so we can't even use that if we wanted to. We also have Solar Conquest. Instantly generate 20% of your missing rage and 5 solar power. That is a crucial one to have, especially for healer, if we're trying to do our big heals. Ooh, we got a... Okay, don't have anything there. Loot bot. So we're almost level 10. Spider Boy went in here. Spider Boy, Spider Boy. Going invisible and killing everybody. I like how he's got the book out, so even though he's going invisible, we can still see him. Slash. I will say, going Venomancer, so you can go the Spider and do stealth, or any character that has a permanent stealth like that, does make doing quests a little bit easier, because you can sneak around the stuff you don't have to take out. But I like doing... Like, I like the fact that I'm going to have to take out targets, because I'm going to level typically faster than somebody who's going to do the stealth stuff and try and just dip around a bunch of stuff. So there's that. But I think for today and tomorrow, just to let you guys know what I think I'm going to be doing for my schedule, as long as the computer will cooperate with me. We are going to be streaming before work. And then when we get home, like tonight and tomorrow night, we will work on finishing up some of the videos that we're working on to get those done and posted. I apologize, they're taking a little bit longer, but I had some feedback from some of the devs who help watch our content and make sure that we're putting out the best possible content we can for you guys. So I'm trying to use some of their feedback to make some of these videos a little bit better each time. So it's taking me a little bit longer to get videos out. So I'm hoping you guys will notice the difference. But I am finishing up the support role for the Stormbringer. And then I will do all 3 builds for the Ranger. Then the Pyromancer will get its 3 builds. And then as soon as the Cleric hits 60, we'll be doing the Cleric for all 4 builds that it has. And then from there, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I think they've really got this. Aside from some small bugs here and there, I honestly think they have this in an almost perfect state of play. Okay, we need 1 more eyeball. And we haven't really been taking out the crawlers, so... There's a clacker over there. We're going to take out some more crawlers, because we still need 4 of those. At this rate, we're going to hit 10 before we get all of the mucus that we need. We're getting better luck. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's like 100% drop rate for the mucus and like a 20% drop rate on the eyes. And we had like a 75% drop rate on the eyes this time, and we've been having terrible luck with the mucus. There we go. Starting to get that higher drop rate. I think it's because I was talking noise, man. There we go. Okay. Now we need to just swim straight across to the big island that's out over here. Out over that way. We need 4 kitty cat pelts, and then we need, there's a couple dudes that we got to take out here. Zalzane, Practical Prey, that's the tigers. That's the skulls. Did I miss a quest over there? No? Just not seeing it up over here for whatever reason. That's what I thought. You won't come on land. Oh, yeah, you will. It did not give us a pelt. That one did. I did see a tiger over on this itty bitty island right here. There's number 2. Then there's like 3 tigers right in a little small area right up over here. 2, 3 tigers. Yeah, 3 tigers. So we only need 2 pelts, and as long as 2 of the 3 drop, we're good. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but I hope that it does. There's level 10, so now we get to pick our thing. So, see, I don't like how it doesn't have the armor class anymore. So that might be a thing that I talk to them about as well. But it says we need intelligence, and it doesn't tell us what armor class we need. But we're going this way. But there's 4 different types here. You've got casting, which requires intelligence, melee, which requires strength. So I still believe that this is cloth, cloth, plate, plate. I think. But what we get is reduces the cost of illumination and shine by 15% and causes illumination and shine to heal the target's nearby allies for 10% of the value and generate 10 rage. So it basically just makes illumination and shine AoE. Not huge AoE potential, but it is still AoE potential. Okay, so we've got Solar Prayer. This is another big heal for us. Recite a Solar Prayer, instantly healing you for 25% of your maximum health and dispelling 1 magic effect. Adds 10% to the healing done. Then we've got Revivify. That's our resurrection spell. We ended up getting Dawnbringer. Bring Dawn upon an enemy, dealing weapon damage plus 13 and applying purging flames to 10 nearby targets. This allows us to do more AoE damage early on. Not that we're going to care too much about damage. There we go. Now we just get to run through this island and take out literally anything moving. Forget what specs Devin and I were playing the last time we came out here. Because I was like, get ready. I pulled literally everything over here, and I was like, get ready to just heal me. So he was definitely playing a healer class. I just don't remember which one. But I just ran in, yoinked everybody, and then he healed. But it looks like we're getting a free pass almost. To just kind of waltz through here. Come run up over here. Let's grab this. Usually it's a struggle to get these quests done out here, because usually you have, you know, two other people, 1 to 2 other people doing this, and there's not enough trolls on this island for more than really 1 person to do at a time. Personally, I think the spawn ratio for these guys needs to be increased. If not the spawn ratio, then let's increase the density maybe, or add more to the other islands. We're gonna try and sneaky up over here. Let's pick this up. Then we're gonna hit this voodoo troll. Get him to come up the hill with us. Done deal there. Just need one more. Okay. That is all complete. We can now get the heck out of Dodge. We'll take targets out. We're almost level 11. So we'll just, as we run towards the exit here, we'll just take out what's in our way. There's a part of me that really likes the big kaboomy that Solar Flare can do. But there's also a part of me that's like, man, that is slightly annoying. Ugh. It's like, dang, where's There we go. There's level 11. Then we can just swimmy on over that direction. Super swim speed. Sort of. This gives us 100% faster swim speed. There's also a world buff that you can get that increases your swim speed even more. So that you're just like really booking it across the water. Ugh. Reach level 10. Good morning, Alex. How are you, my guy?
Hey there. Be seeing ya. Okie dokie. What's be on your mind?
There's level 12. Then we come over here and turn that in, and it will complete the entire area.
Hello, man. Spirits be with ya.
I've been awake for just over an hour. So, doing good, doing good. Sadly, have work today. I'd rather stay home and finish videos and continue streaming, but it is what it is. Man, it's playing it in 1080. I don't know why it looks somewhat blurry. All good, I guess. But yeah, just, you know, decided that we were going to do the Sun Cleric as the next class to 60 so that when we do our build videos and get all that caught up, we'll have one class so far that will have tank, healer, and 2 different types of DPSs to work on. So I figured that would be a pretty good thing to do. For this quest shinies, they really need to add more of these bars, because like if you have 2 people trying to do this quest at the same time, there's not enough. So either one person's gonna get their 6 and the other person gets, I think it's 3 or 4 after that. Or if, you know, like what Devin and I do when we're doing this quest, one takes one side, one takes the other side. One person, or both people have to turn around and run back because there's not 6 on one side. Because there's 5, this will be 6, and then we'll count how many are left on our way to town. Hopefully I can still see the bars on our way to town. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So there's 9 bars total. They should add more so that we have more more stuff on there for all that. It'd be nice to have 12 so that if you have 2 people trying to play together, they can each get their 6 and go turn that in. I don't want to be crazy and be like, no, have like 30 of them so that, you know, if a 5-man team is leveling together, they can all get it. You know what I mean? So. Alright, picking up all the quests. As usual, we will not be picking up the egg quest because I don't feel like running all the way back down south. There we go. And look at that. We're already at 11 and 4. I'll open all those just to get the money at some point. But yeah, 11 and 4 is pretty darn good. Alright, that's that quest. Conscript of the Horde, I don't want to do. So we're going to go run up here and do that. Because this quest up here actually leads over to here anyway. And then on our way back, we do encroachment, and then we turn in those. That's a total of 4 quests, if I remember correctly, that we get by doing all those. 3 or 4, one of the 2. But yeah, so we really, really like doing that in that order because that gives us a huge jump on XP there. Looks like we have some skills to level up. Do we have any new skills to learn yet? Yes, we do. We have Spears of Light. Inflict 66 holy damage to 8 enemies within 8 yards of an enemy target. Generates 10 rage and 2 solar power. I like that. We also got Bless. Bless an ally with the light of the sun, restoring 10 mana every 5 seconds for 30 minutes. That is a buff. That is awesome. That goes down here. Once we get close to 15 and can start doing some dungeons, we will get Voodoo turned on, get that set up, and then we'll try and do some dungeons if we've got time. That's dope. If I remember correctly, Light of Spears didn't used to do based on target. It was something you had to click and set, if I remember correctly. Yeah, what's up, dude? It says there's a quest inside here. I don't remember there ever being a quest inside here. What do you want? Dirt tires in easy places. There's little water here. This is the Ranger quest. I'm confused. We might be putting in 2 bug tickets into Discord today. One so that we can let them know that the troll can't do the Sun Cleric level 3 quest. And we might be telling them that we're getting Call of the Wild, which is, I believe, the Ranger quest. Or it may just be a new quest that they're doing in order to show people that don't have these books where their class trainer is in the major city. I didn't think of it that way. But we now have 2 big AoE skills, which is pretty dope. We've got Dawnbringer, and then we also have Spears of Light. Let's try this. Not bad. It's not what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be like a big AoE thing coming from the top. But it's kind of like the Frozen Fingers from the Mage class. I think was the name of that spell. Where as you cast spells, it would create these ice crystals, and then when the ice crystals hit like 5, they would launch at the nearest target, so... Somebody was just recently through here. There we go. About to hit 13. My eyeball needs to stop twitching. There's 13. Go. Da, 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 da. I know I missed a shiny in that tower that we first cleared, but there's also a shiny right here. The one that's in the tower, I believe, is a pair of pants. I was told I had to call them shinies. I was calling them world loots, and then somebody was like, no, no. No, no. Those are called shinies. So, they are what they are. We now have shinies in the world. But, I'm sure there's some that I haven't even gone to go get. At some point, I may try to, like, search every nook and cranny to try and find all of them. I have no idea how many there are on every map. But I think it would be kind of fun to get a class, get it leveled. We might do it when the world goes live. Alright, we need 3 more. Sorry, I thought we hit 6. We need 3 more Marines. There's usually 2 right out here, and then 1 to the left. And there's the one that's usually to the left. Finally, a class that when they get interrupted, I don't just stand there and twiddle my thumbs like a special person. I can still smack you. Alright. there's those technically 3 quests. So you get carry your weight, done. Vanquish the betrayers, done. And we get this letter that we can pick up. That is a 3rd quest that we just need to go turn in. And now we're going to go run and do encroachment. All right. Now, one of the YouTubers I watch, I remember he used to play World of Warcraft quite a bit, like retail World of Warcraft. I've always wished that he was one of those people that I could easily like find in the game and be like, "Hey, buddy, like, how you doing? I watch your content. That's so cool. Yay!" But I don't play retail anymore, and I have no idea what server he played on, if he was Horde or Alliance. And the only reason why I know he played World of Warcraft at one point was because he was on a channel called Get Good Gaming. And there would be times where like his computer would stop working or whatever. He'd get kicked out of the multiplayer that they were playing. So he'd be like, I'm just going to sit over here and play World of Warcraft then while I wait for you guys to finish the map or whatever they were doing. Don't need any more scouts. We need the quill boars, just one more of those. There's a bow over here, right on the other side of this quill boar we're about to take out. That's a new shiny, so to speak. Just run over here. Woo. Pick up the quill bow. Really? I think this only stays active while your primary target inflicts 69 holy damage to 8 enemies within 8 yards of an enemy target. Generates 10 rage and 2 solar power. During dawn, it becomes an instant cast. Speaking of dawn, we haven't really talked too much about it. So dawn with illumination, our main heal. This thing increases healing by 20%. For shine, this is our slightly bigger heal. Makes it an instant cast if we need. And then solar prayer, dawn adds 10% of the healing done from it. And this is a cooldown heal, which in my opinion is a terrible kind of heal. But this thing here, from what I understand, is this only heals us the way it's written. Instantly healing you for 25% of your maximum health and dispelling 1 magic effect. So I'm not sure if that means that it only heals us, or if we can target an ally and it heals them too. We'll definitely have to test it out. Looks like the guy that was just over here took out all of the, what are they, dust runners? Yeah, dust runners. Here is a shield, in case you guys want a green shield for you, for tanking. I see a dust runner over here. 2 dust runners over here. Oh, 3 dust runners. We just need 1 more. 1 more dust runner. There we go. Okay. That's all 4 quests. And technically, we could go turn in shinies as well, because that's right over here. So yeah, we'll go turn in shinies, collect our quest, run over, turn in the carry your weight, and then we're gonna go turn in the other stuff. Call of Wild we won't be turning in for a little while because that requires us to go to Orgrimmar in order to turn that in. But we are level 13. We've got 2 levels to go. I do like the fact that they added this little stand for her. Because usually she was just floating out here, nothing. But then they added this little stand and gave her a world shiny right there, which is pretty dope. Let's go take on these 2 guys. We're almost level 14. I'd rather try and do that before we turn in all those quests. So we'll just take out some people. We're getting about 160. Yeah, so we basically need 4, technically 3 enemies. 2 more. Let's see, a scorpion and a pig right over there. We can take both of them. One more. There we go. 14. Now we just need 1 more level, and we can try and do some dungeons. Okay, we ended up getting 2 new skills. Sanctify removes 1 curse from an ally. That's a heal that goes down here. And Solar Burn. Blast an enemy with sun rays, interrupting spellcasting and preventing spells from that school. So I'm going to throw that down here. Just because it's not a buff, and it's not something that we're really going to be worried about too much. For melee or ranged DPS or even tanking, that would be a good skill so that you can mitigate what some enemies are doing. There are some bosses that you definitely want to use a skill like that on. But for the most part, as a healer, I'm just going to worry about trying to overheal. This isn't a DPS healing class like some of the other ones. For example, Primalist, Pyromancer, and Cultist are all DPS healers. So you could technically use all of those to have a silencing effect. Encroachment complete. Admiral's orders kind of complete. And then he's going to give us Vanquish the Betrayers and From the Wreckage. So now we have 1 more quest to come run way out here to do, which was what we're going to do. And then we've got a bunch of quests out over on this side. We have not been spending our points. How crazy is me? We'll just hold off until we hit 15. Then we'll do our points and activate Voodoo. Get that set up so that we can get ready to start healing. Technically, I could probably take out, 2, maybe 3 enemies. And we'd hit 15. But I just want to do this quest. Hearth back to town. Turn that in. So that we hit 15 that way. And then we're going to get everything set up for healing. get everything set up via our skills here, figure out what exactly it is that we want to do with the skills for now. It's been a hot minute, almost a year now, I think. I'd have to go back and look at the video that we did when we first leveled a Sun Cleric Healer. Because we did a Sun Cleric Healer, we did a Blood Mage Tank, we did the Fellsworn Caster, we did a Tinkerer, Necromancer. Like, those 5 were the first 5 we ever hit 60 on. And out of those 5, the only one I kept was the Fellsworn, because I was like, this class is amazing and great. Now it's got a huge relearning for me, because I'm used to, like, having my macros set up to where it's like I just click one button and it's, you know, super, super simple. But now it's not so simple. There's all those. We can go ahead and hurt back. But what we'll do is we'll empty out our bags. We're going to open up these, then empty our bag again. We're going to get a whole bunch of stuff done real quick like. Ugh. Okay. Browse goods. Let's go turn this in so that we level up. Then we're going to, like I said, have to turn on Voodoo. Set Voodoo up for heals. Alright, there's level 15. So now we can do dungeons. So let's go add-ons, scroll down here, turn on Voodoo. Every time I say Voodoo, it reminds me of the Labyrinth movie. Though apparently that is not the original place for that song. Found that out the other day.
What do you need? Be safe.
All right, let's open all these up real quick. Boom. So like I said, we got some blues, but guaranteed greens out of the green box. And then the white boxes, they gave us some gear, but it was primarily like beneficial stuff, like professional or profession stuff and a little bit of gear. Some potions, all that fun stuff. None of this I need. May your blades never dull. All right. So first, let's get this set up. All right. So we've got, let's start on this side of the tree. Critical heals with illumination and shine now generate 10 rage. Rage is awesome because that gives us the ability to go into using our heals that are raged base, which is great. Glare, flash powerful light that stuns enemies within 8 yards. No thanks. Unbreakable focus reduces the mana and rage cost of all spells by 5%. Yes, please. Gleaming Vigil, Dawnbringer now grants you and nearby allies a shield absorbing 85 damage for 30 seconds. That's the skill right here. So we would actually cast that as a healer just to get a shield up on people, which is pretty dope. So let's apply changes there. I wanted the reduced cost to spells. Solar Guidance. Call upon the sun to grant protection to an allied player, reducing all damage they take by 5% and restoring 2% of their maximum health every 3 seconds for 2 minutes. Can only affect one ally at a time. Cannot target self. Allows you to use guidance spells on the target. So guidance spells, when we put Solar Guidance on somebody, they are now under guidance, which means we can then also proc other guidance spells automatically on them, which can be pretty dope. Prayer of the Sun. Make a prayer. Healing an ally for 175 damage. That is a huge rage spell. Love it. This one's mana. This is Guidance Sanctify. Heal up to 5 targets within 15 yards of your guided ally for 76. Shares cooldowns with Guidance of Calamity. Only usable on allies with Solar Guidance active. So we may grab that one. But let's see. Hotspot. Your critical heals now restore 15% of your base mana. That gives us a nice mana pull back. Healing spells that cost rage now restore 10% missing mana. That's also a great one because that's our only rage heal for now. I like this one here first. Then we're going to grab this, and then we're going to grab this. Let's see. Refraction increases the healing of illumination by 15%. Love that. So apply changes. But this right here is probably the best thing that we have. So reduces the cost of illumination and shine by 15%, making them easier to throw. And causes illumination and shine to heal the target's nearby allies for 10% of the value and generate 10 rage. So not only are they generating more rage for us, but they're also doing slight AoE heals every time we throw them. That used to not be a thing, if I remember correctly. Illumination and shine had a talent over on this side, if I remember correctly, that allowed it to hit a secondary target for like half. I'd really have to go back and re-look at those, that live stream that I did. All right, here we go. So let's do this. First, let's go move, because we're going to get rid of all this extra nonsense we don't need. These are actually really good if you're doing raids, but we're not, so... yeah, we'll just put that over here. Put this on top of it. Then we're going to pull back up Voodoo. Go to spells. Pull up spells. PD... No. Blessings, maybe? Is this where all of our heals are? Illumination. Shine. Solar Guidance will be our middle button. Guidance Sanctify will be under Shift. And then when we get another guidance bill thing, that will actually, let's delete that. Let's make that under control. And control will be our sanctify keys. Prayer of the Sun, that is a big heal. Isn't that the rage one? Yeah, that's rage. Okay. And then pop our book. See if we can learn anything else. No. So here's the deal. So we have illumination. Takes a bit to get off. Shine is a little bit less, but that uses up more mana, I believe. 28 versus... No, so we need to do that the other way around. Go here. We want shine to be our primary, and we want illumination to be our secondary. I think the biggest difference is this generates 1 solar power. This generates 2, but takes longer to cast. We want the shorter cast with less mana over the bigger cast with that. So, but if we sit here... Solar Prayer also requires rage. I want to... Can I target you? I'm going to try something. I don't think it's going to work. yeah, that just affected me. Okay. Well, we've done what we could. Let's see if we can get into a dungeon as a healer.
Loktar, what are you looking for? Go with honor.
Go with honor. Ugh. So yeah, let's see if we can at least get one dungeon done before we have to get off. And we're waiting on 1 DPS. That's rare. Let's see if I can grab a water before the dungeon queues. And then just to prove it to you guys, like, I do drink water. I know it sounds like I'm opening something else, but like, they're just canned waters. I used to drink way too much soda. And it got to the part where like I was also drinking like a lot of monsters and stuff every day. And it got to the part where like I could literally drink a monster and go straight to sleep. And I woke up after doing that one day and I was like, that's not healthy. So then I was like, I'm gonna cut out energy drinks. But then I went from that to drinking like a 12 pack of soda a day. I was like, that's expensive and not healthy either. So then I just cut sodas completely out, technically caffeine. Went to flavored waters and things like that, Sprite, non-caffeinated root beer sometimes. Um, and then I found out the hardened one for me was because when I was cutting caffeine for my diet, I found out that chocolate contains a natural caffeine, so I was still getting a headache while eating chocolate. It was like, dang it. Ice cold water. All we're holding on is a tank. Yeah, we'll go do these, then Dark Storm, and then we can come turn both of those in while we wait for a dungeon queue. And then the tank went off. By the way, right up there is another shiny. It's a pew pew laser, a blaster, whatever you want to call it. It's a gun. It's good for tinkers. Those who play the tinker class. Honestly, they really need to just reword that to tinkerer with the extra ER at the end of it. Okay, now we just need 5 of these guys. Two more. One more. Okay, that particular quest is done. If you do the lumbering profession, the one where you cut down all these trees, which, look, if you're going to do it for the XP, yay. If you're going to do it because you're like, new profession, it is not a new profession. It's literally just an XP farm. This is where you come to turn them into logs. This is considered a sawmill. I don't remember where in here is the quote-unquote sawmill. It might be where that dude's chopping, to be honest, but... I'd still like to know the art direction that they gave that lady to cry like that. Is it bad that I hope that at some point the developers will add some of the other races to the game? Like the Pandarans or the Vulpins or like on the ally side there was they ended up getting a new dwarf class, like the deep dwarves or iron dwarves or whatever they were called. They ended up getting another human race. They also had access to the Pandarans. Like, mainly I just want a Pandaran. I want to run around with my big fluffy panda. Like, that was probably the most fun I've had in a long while in retail WoW, was playing the Pandarans. I just watched a video the other day that somebody posted because they just did for Classic WoW. They did the Pandaran time walking or whatever it was. And he loaded in to make his monk. He wanted to play a panda monk. Loaded in, and there were so many people in the starting zone. People were having to, like, essentially create a queue line so they could do quests. I was like, bro, that is rough. Oh, finally. Yeah, buddy. We'll, like, hide in this little hole right here. Oh, that is dope. That makes healing with this guy so much easier. And then I said we were going to throw the beacon. I hope I just threw it on the right person. Because... No, like, look at that. I'm getting all of those heals off of one heal. That made this class so much better as a healer. Tank went the other way. There we go. Yeah, that made this class so much simpler to heal. Holy cow. I can't heal you, dude. You're all the way back there. I could have rezzed him. I need to set up the buff page so that I can see ugh. When he has certain buffs on him. Okay, I can't see wherever he is. And like so far, I'm not even really needing to pop solar. This guy's doing pretty well. It gets a little dicey when somebody takes a big hit, but outside of that, this is phenomenal. Hit him with that again. Hit him with that. But yeah, we're gonna have to definitely gonna have to figure out. Oh. Whoops. We'll have to do the buffs so that I can see when he's got certain things on him. But the fact that, like, I can heal one target now and it heals basically everybody is nice. Like, I need to heal myself. Boom. And several other people got heals from that. There we go. Look at that. Jumped all the way up to 17. Still nothing to learn here, but we're leveling skills, so that's fine. But yeah, that's awesome. I liked that. I'll be honest, I was not expecting it to have that kind of healing power. Because again, the last time we played a healer, it was rough. And we somehow ended up with 2 dungeon spoil bags. I'm not sure how that worked out when we only did 1 dungeon, but okie dokie. Let's see if we can queue for another one. Rebuff ourselves too. I want to try and finish this quest. Boom, there we go. All I need to do is take out this guy. There's the claw. Mount up, turn around, and run. Let's get out of here. And then we're going to go over here, take out a couple alligators, however many it takes to get that quest done, so we can just run back, turn in everything that we've got. And we're almost to the point now where, like, if we were getting insta-queues right now, we wouldn't be doing quests. We would literally just be sitting in town and insta-queuing the entire time. This early in the morning, I don't expect us to get insta-queues like that. Mid-afternoon, early evening, definitely can get a ton. That's what I thought. We can't. There's our spells right now. Bonus healing is way up. Love that. Gotta love that. Haste rating. So for us, our big ones are going to be crit, haste, penetration, hit rating would be nice, but not necessary, to be honest. Because again, we're not technically a combat healer class. We can do some combat stuff in between our heals if we wanted to, but we're not required to do our healing. There we go. Got it on the first one again. So really our big ones are going to be penetration. This helps us get more heals through. Haste rating is good. Crit rating is good. In order, though, what you want is going to be your crit chance. Again, we want to try and strive for about that 25% mark, which I believe is hard cap still. You want to get haste rating so that we can cast our spells even faster. And then penetration after that so that our heals are bigger when we do hit. Actually, I don't think penetration works that way anymore. I may have to go do some research on that one. I may be wrong on pen. I know at one point penetration increased how hard you would be able to heal. So like if normally you would heal for 100 and then you had 50 penetration, it would do like 125 heal or something like that. I don't remember the exact math it used to be. But that used to be what penetration was for a healer, whereas penetration for a damage dealer was to negate armor. But I think they may have changed that. I don't remember. Come on, Dungeons. How am I in queue for 4.5 minutes as a healer and there's nothing else in queue? I just went the wrong way, didn't I? I did. We need to run back this way. Because we need to talk to Floaty Chick and then go talk to her. Your Highness! Oh, Your Highness! I doth finished your quest. And she wants us to go talk to somebody in Orgrimmar about some stuff. We're going to come run over here and get that other shiny I talked about a little earlier. Harpy Hunter. It's the first blue weapon you can get, I believe, as a world loot shiny. I still think it's funny. I got called out for just calling it world loot, and people are like, no, they're called shinies. Like, okay, if you say so. I would think that in a game like this, you would call the rares that are out in the world shinies. Because they're rares. They don't spawn all the time, because they usually have like an hour-long spawn timer, so if somebody takes it out, you gotta wait basically an hour to get it to spawn again. Alright, now we go run into town here, turn that in, and then we've got a quest up here that will take us over to this side. Technically, there's 2 quests that take us over to this side. And then before we go into Orgrimmar, if you guys remember, we can go do... there is a quest over here for a guy who got poisoned. He wants us to go into Orgrimmar. The guy in Orgrimmar says, hey, I can make the cure, but you're going to have to go take out some scorpids. We run back outside of Orgrimmar, take out the scorpids, run back into Orgrimmar, get the potion, run back out of Orgrimmar to give the potion to the guy, and you have 45 minutes to do that in. We definitely won't be doing that quest today, unfortunately. Don't have the time for it. Speaking of, let's just re-queue here. Now we're just waiting on a tank. $17 levels in 2 hours. Pretty darn good. Zhug. I like if you keep clicking on the orcs, like the peons. At a certain point, one of them will be like, I'm not that kind of orc. I small things like that make me giggle. Because you know somebody knew that in this game somebody was going to click one of the peons forever while they were waiting to do something or whatever. For whatever reason, there's dialogue that you can get characters to do if you just continuously click on them. You'll get different stuff. There we go. We'll have to see what that's like in combat for you guys, but I was looking over and for whatever reason the audio was like way off, and I've got the music turned up a little bit. I've got the clumpity of the horse. Oh. All right, so there's this quest here.
Hey, how you doing?
Winds in the desert. It's the wind in the desert. Schmack. Should have moved the fan over here. I'm starting to get super hot. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of AC circulation in the room I'm in. We're thinking about moving my desk into a different part of the house so that I get a little bit more AC circulation. Only downside is like when I'm doing streams and stuff like this, the kiddos are gonna have to be told, hey, you can't come in that one part of the house until I'm done. But it is what it is. Waiting on a tank at 1 DPS now. Like, I'm sure this room will be different once it starts to cool off outside. Like, the hotter it gets outside, obviously the hotter this room's gonna get, since it's a converted garage. And then, there we go. I was clicking the wrong button. Like, why is my guy not swinging? But yeah, it's just one of those things. Really? Come on, deeps. Come on, deeps. Just need the last deeps. Let's go, my guy. Want to get at least one more dungeon out of the way today before we gotta log out. We got 10 minutes.
Yo!
I don't know where he's going. It says we need to take out the Coldbringer. This is not the way to take out the Coldbringer. Necromancer is absolutely crushing it, though dude is level 59. Yeah. Oh. Somebody dipped out. Hopefully it was not the actual tank. Nope, it was one of the DPS. By the way, we have a Guardian is a tank. And this guy's actually doing really good. Most Guardians I've played with have not been good at all. You know what we haven't been doing? Our skill points. Alright, he's good there. Let me lower that for fights. It's too quiet when we're out in the open world, but for fights, it's a little too loud. Now, the question is, I don't think this guy knows all the shortcuts, so I think that's why we're doing the big loopy around, but... We'll use Dawn just for giggles. Ooh, it is getting toasty, man. I'm starting to sweat pretty good. I really should have moved my fan. I don't know where Homeboy is. Or what he's doing. Getting some leveling going on, though. Alright. Everybody caught up to us, so I'm good there. Everybody caught up. We're solid now. I got the frozen in place. Not good. I'm not sure which kind of primalist we've got. And I don't think I'm going to be able to inspect him. He's a wind walker. Yeah. Wind walker. Primalist. Alright, that got us to level 19. Let's leave Dungy. That's going to be the end of that. This should get us to 20.
Have a good one.
Yep, there we go.
Be good.
Got to 20. We will pick up his quest.
Have a good one.
And then we're just going to run up here to Orgrimmar real quick. We will use up all of our points that we've collected. And then we will call that a day. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the healer. I know I am. This thing has changed a lot since the last time. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go look this up. But I'm fairly confident this dude has changed dramatically since the last time we leveled one. So there is that. But yeah, I mean, this is crazy, like how well this is working. All right, so we will just sit here in Orgrimmar because this will actually give us rested XP. Or at least it's supposed to. We'll just run to the inn. Why not? Just make it nice. Because I could have sworn we had like a not a buff per se, but like a little icon that would be like, you are now gaining rested XP kind of thing. Oh, there we go. If I walk out of... Yeah, so see the little Z's on our name here? This is what shows you that you're getting rested XP. So that's fine. We'll just stay over here next to the inn. Let's go through these real quick. Like I said, we definitely want this one. Healing spells that cost rage now restore 10% missing mana, which is nice. And critical heals now restore more of our mana. We are going to end up getting refraction because it increases the healing of illumination by 15%. We're not really using illumination all that much, but when we do, we want it to hit even bigger. Then we've got Glory to the Sun. Removes the cost of Gavel of Atonement and causes it to generate 15 rage because of a 5-second cooldown. Not a huge fan of that, to be honest with you. Heatwave activating Dawn unleashes a burst of healing, restoring 102 health to allies within 40 yards. Like that. That is a plus for us. Solar Beam, this is a skill. Refract light into a restorative beam, healing an ally for 134, and then jumps up to 4 additional allies. So this is an AoE heal for us, on top of all the other AoE healing we're getting. So far this thing is absolutely dominating in that department. Sunshine, bask an ally in light, healing them from 191 over 18 seconds. That's actually pretty good. Redeemer reduces the cost of illumination, or the cast time, sorry, of illumination by 0.2 seconds. And Guidance Calamity. Empower your guided to unleash a burst of holy energy in front of them, dealing 84 holy damage up to 5 enemies in a 10-yard cone in front of them. Shares cooldown with it. Only usable with allies with solar guidance. So this allows us to do a little bit of damage, whereas this one allows us to do healing. Oh, so then we really don't even need to be using this one. We want this one. I thought this one allowed it to heal in a radius, not in front of it. That's kind of meh. Oh no, it is around it. 15 yards. They got to be right on top of them. Let's come over here. Glare, not really into. Let's get our haste up. That's always a good thing. Create your nearby allies a shield of that will give us a bubble for everybody. I kind of like that. So yeah, we'll grab that. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what we are going to do for that. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Again, thank you so much, Gibson, for being our very first member to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alex, thank you for popping in and saying hello. To everybody that is not subscribed to us on YouTube or following us on Twitch, please make sure you do so. I've noticed that about 65% of the people that watch our content are not subscribed to the channel. As I know that this is PTR content still going on right now. Once this goes live, we will continue on doing this into the live server where we will have more build guides. We're going to have more in-depth discussions of each class, things like that. So please subscribe to the channel if that is something that you're interested in. Once we get our actual guild in-game running to where we can start doing raids and start doing some other stuff, we will definitely have videos on that stuff as well. But other than that, guys, I'm going to catch you in the next one. Please be safe out there, heroes. And as always, catch you next time, guildies. Peace out.